Good day and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has terminated the appointment of the heads of the 6 information-related parastatals under the Ministry of Information and Culture. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed announced the disengagement on Monday during a meeting. The affected chief executives are the Director Generals of NTA, Shola Omole, FRCN, Ladon Salihu, VON, Sam Wolu, NOA, Mike Omeri, NBC, Emekamba, and the Managing Director of NAN, Iman Niburu. The minister directed the sacked chief executives to hand over to the most senior officials in their various establishments. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia has said fighters of the Boko Haram sect trained in his country before coming to Nigeria to carry out their shocking acts. Mohamud said this while addressing a security conference in Germany. The president also expressed worry that global terrorism is fast gaining ground in most parts of Africa because notable terror groups with roots in the Middle East are spreading their networks in a very disturbing manner. The Somali president, whose country has been plagued by political strife and corruption, said increasing attacks by the Al-Shabaab terrorists has made it difficult for the country to solve its domestic challenges. The Nigerian Air Force has denied reports saying that the over 200 schoolgirls kidnapped by Boko Haram in Chibok village, Borno State, northeast Nigeria, have been located. In a statement by its spokesperson, Ayodele Famuyiwa, the Nigerian Air Force categorically said the claims were untrue. The clarification came on the heels of media reports suggesting that the Air Force had found the location where the kidnapped girls were being held in Sambisa Forest. The Chibok girls were taken away by Boko Haram insurgents on April 14, 2014 from a government school in Borno State. Despite efforts and assurances by the federal government that the girls will be rescued, there has been doubts on the part of some Nigerians. Nigeria's federal government has announced its partnership with international organizations to rebuild areas ravaged by the Boko Haram insurgency. The federal government, the World Bank, European Union, and the United Nations concluded a 2-week recovery and assessment mission in the northeast states ravaged by insurgency. Led by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Internally Displaced Persons, Mariam Marsha, the recovery and assessment team visited Adamawa, Taraba, Gombe, Bauchi, Borno, and Yobe states. The federal government had last month unveiled the assessment program. Meanwhile, the Yobe state government says there is no part of the state currently under the occupation of the Boko Haram insurgents. Senate leader Ali Ndume has said the Senate would try to pass the 2016 budget before the end of March. His pledge comes after the House of Representatives Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Abdul Razak Namdas, said submission of the 2016 budget on February 25th might still be realizable. The Senate leader said March was the deadline for the implementation of the 2016 budget, adding that it was the desire of the Senate to pass the budget before that time. He said contrary to reports, the Senate did not suspend its passage indefinitely, but only said that the February 25th deadline may not be feasible. A group in Nigeria known as the Citizens Wealth Platform has identified the sum of over 668 billion as resources from the Nigerian 2016 Federal Appropriation Bill that ought to be saved and reprogrammed. This group said the estimates in the 2016 Appropriation Bill are inappropriate, unclear, and wasteful. Convener of the group, Eze Onyekbere, who revealed this at a press conference in Abuja, maintained that a lot of the demands in the budget were either bogus, recurring, or outrightly unnecessary. Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Abike Dabiri Erewa as a Senior Special Assistant on Foreign Affairs and the Diaspora. Dabiri Erewa was the former chair of the House Committee on Diaspora Affairs and the chair of the House Committee on Media and Publicity. Harrison's appointment was announced on Monday. The Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello on Monday sacked all permanent secretaries in the state. In a statement released by Kingsley Famwa, his spokesperson, the governor ordered permanent secretaries in the state to proceed on a 30-day retirement leave with effect from Tuesday, February 16th. Those exempted by the governor's directives are the permanent secretary in charge of Government House and those occupying the position in acting capacity. Also relieved of the appointments are the State Accountant General, the directors of local government, treasurers of local government, education secretaries, among others. The Conference of Nigerian Political Parties has called for the reinstatement of some university vice-chancellors sacked by the federal government. Among those the CNPP want their termination rescinded are the Vice-Chancellor of the National Open University of Nigeria, Professor Vincent Tenebe, and 3 others whose tenure had yet to elapse but were among 12 others who were sacked. The CNPP, in a statement by Secretary General Willie Ezugwu, also said it would spearhead a protest with other civil society organizations on Wednesday to call for the resignation of the Minister of Education, Adamu Adamu. The group stated that the action of the federal government contravened laid down rules and could lead to industrial unrest in the education sector. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at more top stories. Stay tuned.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, for this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, Messi move along the street. Yeah, Messi like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people. Actually, yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it, and I'm one of those very few.
I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? My brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we train them. We do the way you do.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. You are watching TV360 News now. Nigeria is in talks with oil majors and banks to raise capital for new drilling and to repay up to 4 billion in debt the NNPC has accumulated over years of mismanagement. Emmanuel Ibe-Kachuku, who is also the Minister of State for Petroleum, said he wanted to increase output to up to 2.5 million barrels per day by the end of 2016. Currently, Nigeria, an OPEC member, pumps 2.3 million barrels per day. Kachuku said debt as of November stood at $3.5 to $4 billion. Nigeria's consumer inflation held steady in January versus December at 9.6%. This was gathered from data released by the National Bureau of Statistics on Sunday. Food inflation was also steady at 10.6% in January compared with the previous month, while divisions such as food and non-alcoholic beverages, clothing and footwear, and others increased at a faster pace in the month relative to December 2015. The headline index was weighed by slower increases in other major divisions such as housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels. The Northern States Governors Forum says it will soon set up a committee which will assist in its partnership with Saudi Arabian-based Islamic Development Bank (IDP). Chairman of the forum, Governor Kashim Shettima of Borno State, made the statement while addressing newsmen in Maiduguri, adding that the collaboration with IDB would fast-track development in the zone. Shettima, however, said the collaboration with the IDB would start yielding dividends in a few months' time. Brent and U.S. crude futures edged lower on Monday as the dollar regained ground, but the market held most of its gains of more than 10% from Friday that came amid renewed talks that OPEC might finally agree to cut output to reduce a world glut. Both benchmarks jumped more than $3 a barrel on Friday after the United Arab Emirates energy minister was quoted as saying that OPEC members are ready to cooperate on curbing production. 2 hospitals have been hit in new airstrikes in northern Syria, medics and witnesses say, causing a number of deaths and injuries. In Azaz on the Turkish border, at least 10 people were killed, including several in one hospital building. Médecins Sans Frontières said 11 people died and 8 are missing after another attack in Marat al-Numan. MSF blamed pro-Syrian government forces for the raid in Marat al-Numan as Turkey blamed Russia for the Azaz strike. The strike comes days after Russia and other world powers agreed to a limited stop of hostilities in Syria. The Confederation of African Football has agreed to move Nigeria's AFCON 2017 qualifier against Egypt to March 26th. The Super Eagles were built to face the Pharaohs on Wednesday, March 23rd, with the return leg to be played in Egypt on March 28th. However, after a request was made by the Nigeria Football Federation, CAF has now decided to move the qualifiers by 3 more days to give the Eagles more preparation time. The game is still scheduled for the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. Super Eagles striker Obafemi Martins has joined Chinese Super League side Shanghai Shenhua from MLS club Seattle Sounders. The Nigerian, who scored 43 goals in his 3-year stint in the United States, becomes the latest high-profile player to join the Chinese league. Former Chelsea striker Demba Ba, Atletico Madrid's Jackson Martinez and Chelsea's Ramirez are just some of the high-profile names to have been snapped up by Chinese clubs. Premier League side Manchester United are set to honour legendary midfielder Bobby Charlton by naming the South End stand of the club's Old Trafford Stadium after him. The 78-year-old, who was part of England's World Cup winning team, has become a symbol of Manchester United since he first joined the club as an apprentice in 1953. The club's South End stand will bear its new name, the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, during the club's Premier League game against Everton on April 2nd. Charlton made his debut in October 1956. He went on to make 758 appearances for the club, scoring a record of 249 goals. We've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.